Okay, good afternoon to you in America. I'm in Colombia. It's 4 minutes left in the morning, 11:56. Gotta tell you, last night was a little rough. I enjoyed Hillary and I enjoyed AOC, and I loved Biden. And a lot of people said that he was too much talking about himself and his record, his legacy, and whatnot. And I got to tell you, he's got a right to do that. In my book, he can stand there all day and talk about it. You know, he did. He has nothing to be ashamed of in this world. He was a good man. I think if he could have. If he could have put forward a ticket one time of himself and John McCain, a Democrat and Republican on the same ticket, that would have been fabulous. I think it would have done wonders for this country. But you know, unfortunately, John passed away, and Biden got old. You know, that same thing's happening to me. I'm getting old. Do you watch these things? Have you ever watched one of my videos and you could tell I'm getting old? You know, it's just the way it goes. That's all there is to it. I had an interesting, I don't know where I copied this from, some article or something, but I thought this was and I've reposted it everywhere I can so far. Product 2025 says no convicts in Trump administration. And the rest of it goes, have they ran that past Trump yet? No, that's actually in Project 2025. There's no convicts allowed, you know, in the administration. Well, we'll see, you know. I hope we don't see. I hope he doesn't get in. But, you know, as much as I think that they've got this, one thing I learned about politics, and especially Donald Trump is going to cheat, steal, and fight, and everything else he can to get reelected. Because basically what he's doing is he's fighting for his own life. Otherwise he's going to probably end up destitute and in jail. Which is probably, you know, based upon karma, probably where he belongs. You know, I don't like to screw with karma. I got enough friggin' problems as it is. I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm sorry, my neck is messed up. So I'm not about to say that, you know. Last night was good. I was impressed by AOC. I'm not that usually when she talks, I don't bother even reading the articles because she just, you know, she doesn't make a lot of sense. But you know what? She's quiet, and she's just doing her job, you know. And Hillary, who I wouldn't have voted for, who I didn't vote for, but I didn't vote for Trump either. I did a write-in ballot. But, okay. My wife just ran in because our house phone was ringing. Now where was I? Hillary. It gave a really good speech though. You know, she looked halfway intelligent, sounded good, made a lot of noise. That was great, you know. But like I said, you know, Biden did, close to 50, I forget, they said 53 minutes or something like that. And a lot of it was just like, you know, talking about what he did. It's not just what he did, it's what they did. You know, and he's been there, he's given his entire life to America. You know, whether you like him or not, he's given most of his adult life to America. And you've got this moron who's only thought about himself his whole life, as far as anybody can tell. Uh, doesn't care, hasn't done anything for anybody. I mean, look at his business record. Not the fact that his businesses went bankrupt. Look at the people he's screwed over the years. He just doesn't pay them. Look at how many towns he owes money to now. And he says, well, that's the Republican Party. No, it's not. It's you fathead. You're the one that's going around not paying it. You're the one that's the authorized signature on the checks, and you're not authorizing the payments. So you think that, you could just go around, and that's the other thing that's going to bite him in the ass when he loses. They're going to want their money. Because they know everybody else is going to want a piece of this scumbag. I don't think he's got a life left after this. I don't think, like I said, I think that they'll do something to get rid of him. Either they'll support an impeachment of him, or they'll shoot him, or they'll just put him away someplace, because they can't control him. First year of that stuff, man, they're not. Every Republican is gonna so regret voting for him, except the bigots and the racists, And after this administration is over, it's going to take 15 years to straighten this country out. 15 years after a Trump administration. Easy. 15 years to straighten this country out. Because you're going to have these diehards in the Senate and the Congress that are going to screw this all up. I've never seen a period of time in my life where there's such little gets done by these morons, and we're paying them, and you find out, you start looking, investigating a little bit here, you find out they spend most of their time planning what they're going to do when they get home. And when they get home, they don't pay for anything, and if they're not going home, then they're going out someplace in the area, These guys go to Vietnam to see, or they go to Holland to see some stupid project that's going on over there that's never going to come to the United States, to see how they do it. Hey, just ask them. They'll send you the video. It's the same thing you're going to see when you go over there, if you spend more, but that takes those, I don't know what they call those trips. There's fact-finding trips. The actual fact-finding takes from 2 to 3 hours. Maybe it takes you have to go to a steak dinner too. But then it's your money's paying for them to be tourists, and they take people with them, and you're paying for it. Okay. This is where they say, well, then you got guys like Alita that work it the other way. They go on straight up vacations, and they have other people pay for it. So politicians people get into politics because of the free shit. Some of them actually want to do something, but others get in it for free shit. The fact that I don't have a lot of information about what Trump said and everything like that, because my newsletter this morning had nothing about the convention, because because it finished so late. It finished at what? It was 11 something down here, so it was 12 something up there. And as for me, I went to bed. I got woke up 4 o'clock by a dog upstairs. And every half hour the dog starts barking again, and my dog's all upset. And then this morning, my wife and I were talking about it. And I'm like exhausted right now. I don't, So, but I did check around, and there's not a lot to see or say. They talk about individuals. They say AOC did this, great job, got everybody standing on their feet. But so did the union guy from the auto workers. He got everybody up and pumped up and yelling and screaming. We don't need yelling and screaming. We need you to get out there and see what you can do about the vote. The the big thing now is there should be a huge effort to straighten out the Georgia election board. Okay? And then you should go around to the other election boards in the other states and make sure that Trump isn't playing games there too. Because if he gets elected and the popular vote in certain states says he shouldn't be elected, and he still gets elected, that's the time we go to war. Because it's the only way, that'll be the only thing we can do to save this country. And I don't want to see that. Not in my lifetime. You know, I read enough about the Civil War when I was younger, very young. I read about World War I, and that war made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. That was still like going back, you know, to when war was a gentleman's thing, and you just used the poor people to fight it for you. And then World War II, and I saw, you know, I talked to people that walked into Auschwitz. I think it was Auschwitz. These soldiers, these old soldiers I ran into, they were some of the soldiers that walked into that place. They saw it. And they sit down and they read the stuff about the people that don't believe it happened. They think it's all movie stuff, movie set shit. You know, they don't believe it happened. Well, I happen to believe it happened. You know, it was a horrible, horrible thing. And nothing like that should ever happen again. That kind of persecution of people, all right? I don't see, I see Trump doing something like that. His boogeyman are immigrants, you know. Hitler's was the Jews, Trump's is the immigrants. Well, this country wouldn't be where it is today without immigrants. We're all immigrants in this country. The American Indians own this country. We try to kill them all off or imprison them in reservations. We don't give them good health care and whatnot, so we don't allow them to propagate and become you know, a greater portion of the country than they are. The reservations, some of them are, I've seen pictures of some of them. My only run-in was with Navajos in Grand Canyon, and that was just, they were selling stuff made in China. That's kind of like, you know, give me a break. I met one young lady was an Apache. I met her. It was just something that she didn't belong where she didn't feel she belonged around here, and I think she left. I don't know where she went to, but she was having a lot of trouble. It's a different world, you know. Because the Indians tend to, the American Indian tends to be somewhat of a closed society. I mean, you know, but they get pissed off every once in a while, and they're willing to fight, you know. I hope they're willing to vote, too. I don't know that I'll watch much more of the convention. I like to see Obama's speech, you know, because I like him. I think he's a good man too, you know. Ex-presidents tend to be somewhat low-key. I think the only one that wasn't, the last really, I don't know what that wasn't low-key was Truman. He used to have these walks every morning, and the reporters could go up and talk to him, and he would give them sound bites, you know, at the time, what they called sound bites. It wasn't sound bites because there wasn't any sound. It was newspaper articles, you know. He'd give them something to talk about. They'd ask him about whatever was going on, you know. People don't talk to Clinton too much. Hillary, after she left politics and everything, you know, this was probably the only really major public appearance I've heard her make, you know, so, in the convention. But like I say, you know, I'm still sitting around trying to find something that Trump's going to say, you know, to try and counteract this. Because there was articles saying that he was going to try and do something to disrupt the news cycle. You know, something spectacular that he could do. But so far, nothing. But we'll see. All right, listen, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap. I apologize if I slurred my words or anything, but I'll blame it on the dog upstairs. I'll see you tomorrow.